Hello everyone, my name is Kitetsu and welcome back to my channel. So in my last video I said you would probably see a video from me perhaps sooner than expected. And I didn't think I'd actually be recording a second video in the same day. I've literally just finished the first part and here's the thumbnail I made. And now I've had to add the part 1 to it because literally as I recorded it, it seems there's a lot more information out there than I even realised. And there's also been this massive update which is all about the brand new Nurgle Battletome that's coming out, and there's also a much better view of the Great Unclean One. So let's dig into this new information, and I think this literally only was posted about an hour or two ago. So let's have a look. We've got this little video here which it's one of these kind of animated little short sketches where, you know, Games Workshop have been releasing quite a lot of these recently, and they show the Maggotkin, basically, and the three of them are all arguing with each other, but the real significant thing, I think, at the end is basically the fact that they give us a hint about the Malign Portents, which is coming out soon, and they suggest that Nurgle is basically going to have quite a big role in that. So that was kind of interesting at the end there. Here is the Battletome itself. Hang on a minute, let me mute that. There we go. This is the Battletome. Looks really cool. I'm super excited that they are bringing this out. I mean, it's Nurgle. Why is this not a thing? It should have been out ages ago, but better late than never. We've got some nice pictures here, which it's not letting me zoom in on, but showing another view of the Great Unclean Ones, and wow, we're really getting a sense of scale here. Look at how big they are compared to Mulch and Slimucks, I believe they're called. And we also see the tree, which is pretty cool. So he's actually bigger than the Blightling on the tree. Very cool though. Absolutely massive models. We've got, where did it say? Here we go. We're going to have new spells, units to patch the tactical holes. Okay, I mean, I don't collect Nurgle, so I don't know what these tactical holes are, but interesting nonetheless. Here we go, Lord of Blights. So this is a new character, and I was trying to look at this picture and work out who he is, because we know who this guy is, we know who these Blight Kings are, so I'm guessing it could be this guy here. Someone can correct me down below if I'm wrong, but he adds ranged capabilities to your Nurgle army, and what he basically does is buffs your nearby putrid Blight Kings so that they can throw severed heads at their opponents. Here we go, it's Munificent Bounty. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but at the start of your shooting phase, you can pick one friendly putrid Blight Kings unit that is within 3 inches of this model. That unit can shoot in that shooting phase using the Munificent Bounty Death's Head missile weapon shown above. That's a bit of a mouthful, but it basically gives you a 14-inch 4 to hit, 3 to wound with no rend, 1 damage shooting attack. So that's pretty cool. The only thing is, it says that unit can shoot. So does it mean every model in the unit? I'm not really sure, but that's pretty cool. We've also got a new Rotbringer spell called Blades of Putrefaction. And this is basically all about mortal wounds. So basically you cast it on a 7, and if you're successful, you pick a unit within 14 inches, and all of the hit rolls of 6 or more for that unit inflict a mortal wound in addition to any other damage, which is really cool because it's basically making them like into a bloodletter in a sense, because I remember their hits, I think, cause a mortal wound if it's a 6 or more. Now, the exciting stuff. If you've watched the first part, by now you know that I'm super excited about the Great Unclean One, and we've got a hint of what's coming for the Great Unclean One. We've got 16 wounds, and I know the original one, which I have the warscroll right in front of me, was actually 10 wounds. And I remember that the original version, because I have played a battle against it before, is actually very difficult to shift off the table. So, giving it an extra 6 wounds, assuming it's probably going to have the, corpulent mass, it could have that still, which basically gave it D3 wounds back, healing them basically every single turn. I think it had the, I don't know, I don't want to sit here reading this for too long in front of me whilst you can't see what I'm reading, but I thought it had like the almost disgustingly resilient rule as well, but I'm not sure. In terms of the weapons, we see that it can have a large plague flail, which I think that is the same as the original one, and it can also have the bile sword, the massive bile sword, which is the same as before. But now we've also got a bile blade and a doomsday bell. In terms of the noxious bile, you know, that's something we had on the original war scroll as well, but whether it does something new or not, we will have to wait and see. The doomsday bell gives an additional 3 inches of movement to nearby Nurgle. Yeah, in fact, now I'm thinking about it, I think movement has always been a bit of an issue. Yeah, poor mobility, as it says here. Should have really remembered that earlier, but yeah, Nurgle armies tend to be very resilient, but quite slow. And yeah, so basically being able to give units an additional 3 inches is pretty damn good. Now, like Scarbrand and Kairos, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, we now have Rotigus, which is a new named Greater Demon, which is very exciting. And his thing is basically mortal wounds. Streams of brackish filth. In your hero phase, roll a dice for each enemy unit within 6 inches. On a 4 or more, the enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. So that's one of his abilities he has, although it's slightly less good against units that can fly, because you have to roll a 6+ to give them the D3 mortal wounds. We also have Deluge of Nurgle, which is a spell. It has a casting value of 7. You roll 7 dice, and for each roll that equals or beats the value shown on the damage table, which we don't have in front of us, you can pick an enemy unit and they take D3 mortal wounds. So basically it's just a way of getting some good mortal wound damage out of there. What else does it say? This bit is just basically saying that apparently they tie in very well with Slaves to Darkness and Clans Pestilence, thanks to the Chaos keywords. This was very interesting. They talk about the Eye of Nurgle, which is, here we go, I think it's an artifact that you can give to a Chaos Lord on Manticore, which they're saying is very good against Nagash and Archaon, and basically the massive guys that you don't want to be coming into contact with. But basically it's an ancient bronze amulet, and you can only use it once per battle, but at the start of the hero phase you roll 2d6, and if the result is exactly 7, that enemy model, well, the closest one, is slain. So what are the odds of getting 7 on 2d6? I think that's pretty much the average roll. I may be wrong. I think 7 is the average result of 2d6, which means you've got quite a high chance there of just straight out murdering a ridiculously powerful character right off the bat. So that's crazy. It's really cool and I love it. Obviously there's a few drawbacks. It might not work. It's only going to affect the closest enemy, so you never know, but great fun. I love it when you have these sort of fun little quirky things on the war scrolls that, I guess it's a gamble, but it's going to be absolutely hilarious if that goes off and you just wipe Archaon off the board. But yeah, basically that is the new Battletome Maggotkin of Nurgle kind of sneak peek preview that they've just shown us. I think at the end of this video here, the probably key bit of information apart from the hint about the Malign Portents is, yeah, it's coming out in January 2018. Assuming that the Greater Demons are going to release alongside the Battletome, and I can't see why on earth they wouldn't, that means we literally do not have long at all to wait until we can buy these awesome Greater Demon kits. Now, the other thing I saw, which actually was from yesterday, which I completely missed, they actually show you the Greater Demons in much better detail in this Warhammer community article here. So, here we go. I think from the looks of things, over the next 7 days, they are going to be showing you all of the models that were revealed in the last video that I made. And look at these awesome images we have here of the great Unclean One model. It looks absolutely perfect. Like, I'm so happy with it. I said it in the last video, and now I'm looking at it here even clearer. It looks even better, and clearly they're going to give you options as to which weapons. We've already just looked at the different options we can give it from the warscroll, and that's all going to be in the box by the looks of it. Look, there's completely different head options. The horns and spikes are completely different. I think, no, his arm is still pretty much in the same position. In fact, both arms are, but nevertheless, these two miniatures do end up looking quite different with swapping those weapon options out. Got a nice picture here to show you again the scale, and it also shows you the scale of the Beast of Nurgle. It's pretty cool that it shows you a bit of the angle from behind as well, because it really looks like this is going to be an absolutely colossal model, and I'm kind of worried about how much they're going to charge you for it, but nevertheless. Lastly, here we go. This is what I wanted to show you. They have the picture of, what's his name? Rotigus, I think. Yeah, Rotigus. And he also looks pretty awesome. He's obviously like a kind of wizard, great Unclean One. In fact, I think, if I remember rightly, yeah, all great Unclean Ones are wizards anyway. Even the old one is. But this guy is obviously going to have more of a focus on magic, as we've seen from the preview of the Battletome. But I think he looks pretty nice. I like the paint job they've gone for. Personally, I prefer these guys here. Like, that to me is just, I want that. I need that on my table now. But yeah, I think he looks really cool. And we've also got a free wallpaper. Sweet. I will have it. Thank you very much. So, there we go. That is pretty much everything. Oh no, wait, they have also released today's preview, which was just confirming the fact that these two models here are in fact definitely heralds. Does it say anything particularly new? Sloppity Bile Piper. Okay, so he's got a set of gut pipes and a marotta. The heralds are the victims and carriers of the chortling murrain, a disease that causes its victims to laugh themselves to death. I kind of love the way they add this absolutely ridiculous humour. Okay, yeah, so that there is Sloppity Bile Piper, and below that, in fact, let's click on him to get a better view. There we go. I mean, yeah, they look great, don't they? The sculpts, the detail, they look really cool. And lastly, we have Spoilpox Scrivener. It is the job of the Spoilpox Scriveners to ensure that plague bearers meet their tallies, a job they accomplish by relentlessly browbeating and bullying their counterparts with a barrage of insults and commands. So basically it looks like he is going to buff your plague bearers, which is very cool. And a new wallpaper. Awesome. So yeah, basically that is our current previews of where Nurgle is going. Oh look, in the background we've got the tree. So, yep, I hope you enjoyed this. I mean, I was not expecting to make this video, and I know I've kind of thrown it together very quickly, and I've given you kind of like my first reaction and thoughts to these reveals, but the second new information comes out that's worth me making another video on, I will. And where I've just had Christmas, I've been given some money and vouchers and stuff, so I think I have just worked out precisely what I am going to be spending those vouchers on. Yeah, I think that's it from me for now, and I will see you guys really soon. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be back soon with the video I was actually planning on making. But thank you guys, stay awesome, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon.